Hello my viewers, welcome to Experience Abroad. So today we have a very hot topic. I know most of you have been sending me so many inboxes. I've been receiving your questions, and I know some have been asking me to do live videos just to answer your questions. And so the good news is today is the day. Last week when I announced on Friday that I was going to do a live video on Experience Abroad page, I received so many inboxes. And so on Saturday in the morning, when I looked at all the questions I had received, I decided to do just a video to answer all those questions. I know that the results of green card will be announced in few weeks from now. It's just around the corner on 8th of May. So please make sure that you watch all the way to the end, just to make sure that you gather as much information as you can. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. So just make sure that you stay right here. So if you're watching for the first time, please subscribe, like, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I post the next video.
Won't you take me home?
Hello my viewers, welcome to Experience Abroad, a place where we give you all the information that you need to know about the latest news abroad. We have a lot lined up for you. Please stay tuned and thank you.
We can be alone in the castle in the sky. We can run away and leave this world behind. Please just take me home to a castle in the sky.
Welcome back my viewers. So before I hop into your questions, I would like to say what DV Rotary is and what the requirements are very fast. So DV Rotary stands for Diversity Lottery Visa. It's a permanent resident card that allows you to stay in the States permanently as you enjoy many other benefits. So what are the requirements? What are the requirements for you to qualify for a green card? So one, you must be from an eligible country. For you to apply for a green card, you must be from an eligible country. Also, you must meet educational and work requirements. So that is given into to details in the application website. You can check it out. But basically, you must have completed a high school diploma for you to qualify for this. Also, you must have a passport. You must have a passport if you are the principal applicant. That's a requirement. So if you are planning to apply, make sure that by the time the application process opens, that you have a valid passport. The other one is you can only apply during the registration process. So this opens up at a certain time, and most of the time it opens up in fall, which is October to November. So I know there are so many websites out there that will tell you that the application for green card is open. Most of those are scams. So the official green card application time is for October to November. So check it out. The dates are out already. It's going to start in October. So make sure that you check the specific dates so that you don't fall into scams. Also, something I would like to mention very fast is that make sure once you apply, you have to save your confirmation number. I know these days people are able to retrieve their confirmation numbers once. I know sometimes things can happen. There can be cases of fire. There can be a situation where you just lose your confirmation number. So I want to give you hope, all that is not lost. These days it's possible to retrieve your confirmation number. So I will do a detailed video about that, so that if there's anyone that applied for green card last time and right now that the results are just about to come out, they cannot trace their confirmation numbers. Very soon I'm going to do a video on that, on how to trace your number, to retrieve your number. Let's get into your questions. So I will try to answer as many as possible. I know there's so many, I might not be able to go through all of them, but be sure that I'll try to do as many as I can. So I'll start with the first question, and I'll try to look at the questions that are similar so that I get to answer them together, so we don't dwell on one thing for a long time. So the first person, Jennifer Mwaura, is asking, how much does it cost to register for green card? Raymond is also asking, so I'll try to look for questions that are a little bit similar so that we get to answer them together. Raymond is asking, what are the chances of winning a green card and how can I know that I won? So I'll start with the first question, because applying for green card is totally free. So there's no cost attached to registration. So do not fall for the scams of people asking you to make a payment for registration. It is totally free. And what are the chances of winning a green card? Oh my God, I would say that a lottery is a lottery, just like any other lottery. I know there are so many out there. The chances, it's just all about probability. So there's no, you can say that you're 100% sure that you're going to win. This is a probability. This is a draw that is going to be done. If you are lucky to be selected, then you get to win the green card. And it's asking, what was the other part? I'm trying to trace that part of question. Yes, he's asking, how would you know that you are selected? The official way of communication is only through confirmation. I know this has confused many people of late, because before they used to send you a mail, a letter to tell you that you won, but recently you can only confirm using your confirmation number. So that's why I say that the confirmation number is very important. Make sure that you keep it safe so that when the results are announced, you are able to use it to check the results. There's no email that will come to your email. There's no mail that will come to your box. So make sure that you check the result using your confirmation number. So the next question. So the next question is a passport compulsory? Does each child have to have a passport? So I think I mentioned something to do with the passport among the requirements. So anything that is in the requirements is very, very important. So that means if you are the principal applicant, you have to have a passport. But if you are applying for the family too, for example, if you are the principal applicant and you are married and you have children, so those doesn't have to have a passport at this point. So the passport that is important at this point is the passport for the principal applicant. So the rest can apply for the passport later on, but the person who is applying as the principal applicant must have a passport. And I want to make it clear because I have seen these questions and so many people have been asking about it. If the children need a passport, if they win. So I want to say that everybody that is in the application needs a passport after they win a green card, but not before. Only the principal applicant is supposed to have a passport at the beginning of it all. But if all of you have a passport, that's well and good. But the passport that will be required in this case is only one for the principal applicant. So the next question is from Moses Rikuda. Is asking, I applied for a green card last year, but that time I was single as I had not met my girlfriend. Now we are planning to get married. What happens if I win the green card? Can I add her to my application? That one is, I would say, is a hard small because it's quite tricky. Anything that you add to your application after winning decreases your chances of getting a visa. So you know. My advice would be for you to stick to what you were before as you are applying. Don't do changes at this point. There's always a two-way of arriving at an answer. So make sure that once you get that visa and you travel to States, you can look for other ways of inviting your fiancé or even officiating your wedding. Please, it's up to you, but I would like you to know that at this point it is not advisable to do any additions on your application. Jerry is asking, how can one increase their chances of winning a green card? I would say that you can increase your chances by making sure that you follow the requirements. For example, as I said, there are requirements, and I said you should go to the website and make sure that you check all of them out. For example, I mentioned the eligibility, I mentioned the passport. There are some, I know there could some that I did not mention. For example, you should have a photo that has been done in the specified way. That is a source of so many people are dismissed because of the photo. So just make sure that your photo is not older than 6 months. Just follow the instructions just to make sure that you are able to increase your chances of getting of winning that green card. Because if you do not meet the requirements, you are likely to be dismissed if you do things in the not in the right way. So please make sure that you try your best to do everything Right. Someone is asking, what is the best time? What is the best time to apply? What is the best time to apply? I think I already answered that question. I said that the application process opens up in the registration process opens up in October and closes in November. So that's the only time that the registration process is open. So just check the website around that time and make sure that you are able to send your application before the expiry date. That is very important. So the next question is, someone is asking, do they look at the level of education? I think I mentioned something to do with education, and I might not repeat what I've already discussed, but I will answer this question very fast. I would say that education is very important. Yes, it's a requirement. You have to meet that requirement. You have to have a high school diploma. That means it's a 12 years, elementary and high school in total. So that means if you have not met that requirement, and also there's an option B for that you could also be having a 2-year experience in the last 5 years in an occupation that requires 2 years performance. So just make sure that you check out that requirement. It's important to make sure that you have completed high school. That's a requirement for sure. The next question, I'll be fast because I want to answer as many questions as possible. Can I use a node passport? I don't understand what kind of a node passport, but what I can say is you should use a valid passport. Make sure that the passport that you're going to use for your application is valid. So there is no way you can use a passport that is not valid. Just make sure that it's valid, and I hope that's what you mean. So someone is asking, where can I take a good passport photo? I might not be the right person to advise you about that. That would depend on where you live physically. It could be, I know majority of the people that are in this forum are from Kenya. I know there are so many places that you can take good passport photos in Nairobi City. So I just don't have the details of the specific places, but I'm sure that you can ask around and know where to do this. So what is important is just to make sure that the person that is taking your photo knows exactly what the purpose of that photo is. Let them know that you're taking this photo for the purpose of applying for a green card, doing green card registration, so that they are able to meet the requirement or specifications in the forum that you are going to take. So there's another one which I think is a very good question. Radia Wajiko is asking, I am married and have 3 children, but I got married with my firstborn, but his birth certificate has the name of his biological father. What can I do? So in this case, there's nothing complicated about this. What is important, if the name of your child on the birth certificate has his biological father's name, you have to make sure that you are able to get a consent from the father. A consent is just a letter saying that I release this child to go to the States with his or her mother. Just saying I'm okay with that. So that's all that you require. And also you require that goes with a photocopy of the father's ID. It could be the father or the mother, it doesn't matter. Both of them. If you're leaving the country with a child, if you're the father, you have to get the consent of the mother. And if you are the mother, you have to get the consent of the father. So just make sure that you get in touch with them, wherever they are. Just let them understand, let them know that you need to travel with this child, and their information is required. That is important. And I know for some, this could not, some of these situations could be quite a challenge. I understand, I know. But I would advise you to try your level best. Just try your level best, because there's no way around it. Like, you have to make sure you present that. There's no way out. Because, and I want to say the reason why they do this. It's because there are very, very, very strict laws of child trafficking. And everybody want to protect themselves. So there's no way the U.S. Embassy is going to just to let you pass like that with a child who has someone else's name in their birth certificate, and they don't do anything about that. No, they are going to make sure that they follow the law and make sure that you do the right thing, just to make sure that they do not get lawsuits and anything coming to them about these kind of applications or processes that happens. So just make sure that you do the right thing. Just get in touch with those people, just let them know, and make sure that you are able to get what you require. So the next question is about it's quite interesting. Marita saying, I am 45 years old, got married at 20. My firstborn is 24, my second is 23, and my thirdborn is 22. Can I include them in my application? The answer is they are of age. You said that they are 24, they are 23, and 22. They are of age to do their own applications, their own individual applications. So those are no longer young children that you can include in your application. So they do not qualify to be in your application. So just do your own application, registration, and they do their own, as they qualify to be principal applicants at that age. Okay, someone is asking, what happens if I don't know where my baby daddy lives or he died? Oh, that's a tough one. I think this person is asking this question in relation to a child who has their dad's name in their birth certificate. So the person is asking, what can I do if the person is, if my baby daddy, I do not know where my baby daddy lives, and or he died. So I would comment about a situation where the person is no longer alive. So in that situation, you need to show proof that they are no longer alive. So you can do that by getting a copy of a death certificate. So those kind of documents will be accepted. So just make sure that you follow the right path. So if you don't know where the person lives, that's a tricky one, because it doesn't matter. That one you have to try and trace. I believe by the time you are putting someone in the birth certificate, this is a person you know where they were born, or where you can get him, like where his family lives. So try your level best. As I said, try your level best to get them, and make sure that you present the genuine documents. In this channel, Experience Abroad, we do not advocate for anything that is not genuine. So make sure that all the things that you are presenting for your visa interview, they are genuine documents. So you don't start cooking your own documents. That is not going to work. So let me tell you this, because you should know that. Please do the right thing. Make sure that you try your level best to get in touch with that person. You can get them through friends or friends or friends, just to make sure that you get hold of them. Yes, another very good question. Someone is asking, what if I test positive for HIV? What happens? So I would say that HIV is not one of things that will make you fail a medical test. And I want to point this out to you because it's important, that the reason why you would fail a medical test is because of tuberculosis. That is one of the risks. So make sure that by the time you are going for your medical test that you are okay, because what happens is if the test positive for TB, which is tuberculosis, you have to finish the medication and the whole treatment and do a second confirmation medical test before you are able to be given a visa to travel to the States. So that is important. Make sure you do that on time. Just make sure that you are okay. So HIV is not an issue. So good news to you. So that is not an issue. Just make sure that you are healthy. You do not have tuberculosis, TB. Most of the time, they would prefer that you do your treatment in their facilities just to follow you up. I know it could be expensive, that is for sure, but the doctor will advise you on what to do. So, as I said, HIV is not one of the requirements that would make you fail your medical tests. Okay. A very tricky question here. Can I win a green card and fail to be interviewed? My answer is yes. Because there's something called high case number and low case number. And it is always advisable to present your documents in good time. But that does not mean because you have a high case number and you presented your documents so fast that that's going to speed up stuff. No. You should know that only 55,000 people wins are required for this particular application, that is DV lottery. But they do give more people the confirmation of a winning message, just to make sure that they cater for those who will not receive this information, or those who didn't bother maybe to check, or those who lost interest. So in that case, there will be more people than 55,000. So that means by the time the number hits 55,000, even if you have that message with you, you are not likely to go. And also there are also so many other reasons that can make you get your visa denied, especially if you give false information. For example, you could be a person who never maybe cleared your education or graduated, those kind of things, giving fake documents. So many reasons who make them deny you a visa. So as I said, just be truthful, do the right thing, and everything else is going to be okay. So at this time, you're going to take just a short break, just a short break, and when we return, I will go on with the questions.
Won't you take me home? Give me wings to fly. We can run away. Castle in the sky. Won't you take me home and give me wings to fly? We can be alone in the castle in the sky.
So welcome back. So the next question is, I am married by customary law. Is it recognized by the law because I do not have a marriage certificate? Can I be disqualified? The answer is yes. The answer is yes, and I'm so sorry for that, because customary law is recognized by Kenyan law, and I don't know if it's recognized elsewhere. There could be so many people watching from many other countries, and I would say that it is not recognized when it comes to applying for your visa, because there's no way of proving that marriage. So for you to prove that you're married to someone, you must present a legal certificate, a legal, genuine certificate showing that you are legally married to your partner. So make sure that by the time you'll be going for your interview, that you have that very important document. Because if you fail to prove that you are married, then you are not able to travel with your spouse. That is very, very important. I know so many people find themselves in this very situation, and it is very good to do things right. I know there could be many reasons why we don't do things right, but I would like to tell you that it's very cheap to register a marriage. So please, you don't have to go through the whole parting process of going to the church and calling so many people. You can do it at the Attorney General, and it's going to cost you less than 500 Kenya shillings to register your marriage. So if you're here and you're planning to do an application for the whole of your family, please make sure that you have that very important document. The next question is, must I have a host? And a similar question, who can host me? Is there a specification, a man or a woman? I'll answer the first one. Must you have a host? Yes, you must have a host, because there's no way you will travel to a new country, a place that you have never been to before, a place that you know totally nothing about, and be without a host. You need somebody to receive you, somebody to show you around, somebody to start you up, somebody to tell you where the groceries are, where the mall is, where, you need somebody to take you around. So the question about the host is yes, you must have a host. By the time you be going for your visa interview, you must have an address of your host. You must have information about them, like you must know what they do for a living. Those basic things, they are important. Just make sure that you know that. The second part is who can host you, a man or a woman. That doesn't matter, no one cares about that. So the most important thing is that you have a host. So it could be a man, it could be a woman, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So another similar question is, what happens if I don't get a host? Just like I said about trying to trace your baby daddy for the sake of giving you a consent, I would say the same for the host. Try your level best to get in touch with someone who can host you through friends, through people who know people. So try your level best. There's no way you will not know no one. You may know someone back home or in Kenya that knows someone abroad. So please make sure that that you do that. Make sure that you know someone that can help you locate a host. That is needed, that is important, that is very, very important. Awesome, I think we are doing well. I think the other questions I'm reading, most of them that I'm reading, I have already answered them. And as I said, I'm not going to repeat the questions that I've already answered, and I kind of getting to exhaust the questions because most of them are so similar. But there's something I would like really to talk about, because I found so many questions, so many questions about children. And I would like to say that if you have a child, I saw a question of someone asking that they have a child, they got married, and the one of the children does not belong to that man, but the birth certificate has no name. It only has a name of the mother, the name of the mother only. So in that case, you don't need a consent from anyone. You are good to go. You don't have, you can, your husband can take that responsibility to stand in that gap as the father of that child. In fact, by Kenyan law, if you get married and you have another child, automatically that man becomes the father of the child. So that man adopts that child automatically. So I would say that in that case, you don't have to worry. That is fine. You can continue with the process without any worries. I also would want to emphasize on those who are continuing to ask about having children with other people written in there. I've also had people asking about change of names and things like that they change names. Make sure that by the time that you are applying for your green card, you are in good standing. All things that you think can mess you up, just try to get them out of the way. Do things like prepare well, make sure you do the application well, make sure that you give all the important information, and by the end of the day, you are going to be in a good standing. So I don't want to waste much time. I have tried to cover as many questions as I could have done. I know sometimes we are overwhelmed by questions, and especially so many people that have been in this stuff of here in Experience Abroad, we cover a lot of many stuff to do with relocating abroad. And I know sometimes people ask so many questions, and sometimes I look at my inbox and I have more than 1,000 questions, but I always try to answer as many as I can, and also try to make sure that I'm able to reach those that have very urgent questions. So feel free to continue asking the questions. I'll get back to you. If I don't do it right away, just be patient, because sometimes it can be tricky, especially because of work. We combine so many things. Just pardon me. I'm going to answer them, the messages at the right time. So just be patient. When you ask your question, I don't answer immediately. So I usually do that within a few days. But most of the times I prefer you ask the questions in the comment box. That really helps, because it helps someone else who had the same kind of a question. So when you ask in the comment box, for example right here, it's going to be of great help to many other people. So my viewers, thank you so much for watching. So as I said, if you have questions, feel free to ask me on the Facebook page, Experience Abroad. We have a new page, a new group, which is Experience Abroad Public Group. And also you can answer right here. Make sure that you comment. I would really appreciate your comment telling me how you feel about this session, if you got help, if the session you should want us to do more and more of this kind of sessions. I would really appreciate that kind of feedback. Otherwise, thank you so much. Until another time, God bless.